It's my great honor here to share what we do and what we have achieved, and some very brief thinking on how we can publish on some top journals. And briefly introduce myself, and I basically study in Zhejiang University across different disciplines. At the very beginning, I have biological sciences studying on DNA, or the botany and the biological sciences, and then I have a PhD in the major of ecology. And during my study in the ecology, and I have a chance to visit Canada and to study some soil sciences. After that, I have a postdoc in economics in Zhejiang University. During that time, it's very difficult to find a job in other countries, so I have to no choice, only stay in Zhejiang University for economics as a postdoc studies. After a while, in Zhejiang University, it's not also so easy to find a job in natural sciences at that time, so I found a job in management as an assistant professor. So that's kind of from multidisciplinary to interdisciplinary. And finally, I moved to the College of Environmental and Resource Sciences 2 years, I think 4 years ago. And currently, I'm a full professor in the College of Environmental and Resource Sciences, but I'm still working on the transdisciplinary. So you will see during the following slides, you will see the different experience in different majors and how they contribute to the currently what I do and what I will do in the future. And this is basically what I have published during past 20 years, from the very beginning in 2005, that when I still undergraduate student, and I start to publish in Chinese journals, and until now I working mainly publishing Nature Food or Nature Climate Change journals. This is very recently our publications. So this is overall what I experienced. I will use this publication list to show in different stage what I have do and what I achieved. And at very beginning, it's kind of a confusing early career. During 2005 and 2006, I still undergraduate students. So my study mainly focus on biological sciences. So I do experiment in a lab on DNA protein issues. But it's kind of not feel well if you sucking in the lab for all day checking the chemicals. So then I choose another direction called tea plantations. So I go to the tea plantations to do photosynthesis experiments on the photosynthesis, how the respiration of a tea, how the tea grows. It looks very green, it's a little bit different compared to DNA studies. But after that, I have directly for the PhD in Zhejiang University in major of ecology. So at the very beginning, I besides what I working on tea studies, I moved to endangered species. That's my supervisor suggested you can do some simulation or experiment on endangered species. This is very interesting. So I do experiment. I to go to the mountains to sampling the endangered species, and finally, like the results even in danger for the species because I take samples. So that's also not very well history experience and the feelings. And after a while, I also do some simulations. So I changed several topics at the very beginning of my PhD studies. So that is very common in your early career. You change your directions. You're not thinking very well. So that's also happened during my early careers. And until then, to 2008, that already the third year. I think that's third year of my PhD. I still not find the way, so I have to choose myself. So that's I read a paper published in Ecosystem 2001 by Lawrence Baker from Arizona State University, working on national budget in Central Phoenix, Arizona Phoenix urban system. So I start to move on to nitrogen study. That's 2008, 2009. I started my PhD in 2006, so that's already 3 years past. I start to find the way on nitrogen studies. But exactly that year, I got a chance to visit Canada. So I have to stop due to study in Canada. That's not it's not another not very well feelings or experience. You finally find a way to move on, but you have to stop or have to change because you move to another countries. So that's my pain during the very early experience. And I graduated on 2011, and before when I graduated, I published 4 papers. The first one, 2009, that's the start of my study on nitrogen studies, publishing ecological applications. That's not very easy at that time. Basically, with this publication, I can get my PhD degrees. So it is very difficult. And 2010, I have Chinese publications, and then 2011, I have 2 publications in ecological research letters and the renewable sustainable energy review. So not very well publication record. And I graduate. I trying to find a postdoc, as most of the PhD they want to go to US or European or other countries. But that year it seems not very well for the economics condition in US and European. So several professors I contacted, they say, oh well, I welcome to find a position in my life, but I don't have funds. If you have funds yourself, you can come. So as but I think the another reason that I have 2 fewer publications, not a good candidate for them to choose me as their postdoc. So I think that's also confusion before my graduation. That's not a very good start compared to currently the postdoc. The PhD all normally have many very good publications. And so I have to stay in Zhejiang University to find a postdoc in economics. Why economics? Because in Zhejiang University, you cannot choose the same major as your PhD when you have a postdoc. So I have to go to other disciplinary, other major. So I choose economics. Why choose economics? Because the professor from economics is a neighbor of my PhD supervisor. It's all kind of not based on scientific choosing. It's all lucky, all coincidence. So, but during the 2 years, I from 2011 to 2013, during the 2 years postdoc studies, I hardly know economics because my postdoc supervisor normally bring us to read books such as Adam Smith. We read The Wealth of a Nation of Adam and also other books of the economics. It's hard to read and hard to understand. And until I finish my postdoc, I really know nothing about economics. So I call bad economics is not economics bad, it's myself. My experience in economics is not well. or during my stay in postdoc in economics. But during that time, I insisted working on nitrogen studies. So you can see that during my postdoc, I have a 7 paper published in 2 years, but continuing working on nitrogen studies. But all of these papers, I trying to put a little bit of economics into the studies, such as their environmental, their economics cost, or the policy issues related to economics, and all related to institutional economics. So that's the start of my work that related to economics. And after a while, I think during that time, I think I'm good. I published 7 papers in 2 years. I already all in not bad journals such as environmental science, technology, global environmental change. It's all good journals during that time for postdocs. But I'm thinking I have to change. Otherwise, I only publish papers in this level, not a higher level. I want to move on. So in 2014, I stopped. I think I have to change. In 2014, I only published 1 very short paper in Frontiers, Ecology and the Environment. I'm thinking how to change. So I move on. I contact Peter Wojtaszek in Stanford University and I trying to publish 1 paper in PNS. That's the way pain of changing. I move on, go to Stanford with Professor Xiaotang Zhu. Why I go to Stanford with Professor Xiaotang Zhu? I don't know Peter. Professor Zhu know Peter, so he brought me to Stanford. And why he brought me to Stanford? Because I'm postdoc and I don't have money. I don't have funds. So he bought me air tickets, and we go to Stanford. We stay in Hotel California. Currently, Hotel California is not already there yet. So we stay in Hotel California. Is the cheap one, and but because we don't have funds, I can only stay in the same room with Professor Zhu. In that room, we only have 1 bed. So 1 bed, 1 sofa. Professor Zhu use a bed, I use a sofa. We stay there 2 weeks. We rewrite the paper with Peter. So we finished that paper in 2 weeks and published in PNAS. That's the completely new way how to write a paper. I learned from Peter how to write a paper from title, not from results. Because personally, I was told that we should write a paper from results, but it's not. Peter don't write paper like that. Peter write paper from titles. So I completely changed the way I write papers since 2015. And after that, I have a temporary job in Zhejiang University, and it's not a permanent position because my publications is not well. And but once I have publications in PNAS, I find a permanent position in Zhejiang University. But during that, I stay in on the campus almost for several years. I don't have go to meetings or meeting people. I think I need to work hard on how to build my own PNAS paper. That's what I think during that 3 years from 2005 to 2018. So from every day, from office to cafeteria, I working with another postdoc from economics. So we arguing each other, we talking all the days and thinking independently. I think that's the way I started to incorporate economics into the way I learn how to write papers. So from 2015 to 2018, I built my own PNAS. Peter already also helped in the paper 2018. but very fewer compared to the first one. So this is basically the one I trying to work with others, not only Peter, to build the study on what we should do. But also in this paper, I trying to link economics with nitrogen. So we have policy distortion, farm size, all this is social economics, and then overuse of chemicals, agricultural chemicals. That's nitrogen studies. So I combine these two in this paper, lead by myself and another professor from economics called Wei Yun. So that's teamwork, thinking independently whether we can do and whether and during that time I still believe, whether you have a permanent temporary job or permanent job or not, you have to working on paper. You have to work hard. Once you have that, you will find a position. And then after 2018, I'm trying to learn to work on your own path. So I stopped the cooperation with Peter. So since 2018, Peter is a very great scientist. I'm thinking whether I can be independent without the support from Peter. So since 2019, all the publications, Peter's name is no more in the author list. So I'm trying to learn the way on my own path and using the interdisciplinary to build the way interdisciplinary with economics and nitrogen studies. So I have my first publication in Nature and Nature Communication. The Nature Communication with the social benefit of agriculture, having agriculture ammonia, that's a very interdisciplinary studies, building economics and nitrogen studies. And after a while, you will see that accumulation, continue working on, and meanwhile, you have a leadership. Keep your faith, otherwise it's very difficult. The leadership, such as the science paper, is a outcome of an international nitrogen management system. It's a UNEP project. I'm a co-leader of one sub project on the cost benefit of global nitrogen use and the loss. So once you have a leadership, you lead a large international group that can help to build your own way to the future, how you build the very top journals such as Science or Nature. When you publish paper in Nature Food or Nature Sustainability, it's not that difficult. But if you want to publish paper in Science or Nature, you have to be global leaders. Otherwise, it's very difficult to really, have a global impact studies. And sometimes, great truths are always simple, not very complex. So after I publishing in Science, understanding that great truths are always simple. So we publish papers in Nature Food. This is not a very difficult one, such as recoupling livestock and the crop, and also the 12% switch from monograss to ruminant will change the livestock system. All these publications are not, very traditional thinking. It's a new thinking. You're leading the new thinking in the global agriculture sustainabilities and the thinking the relationship between livestock and the crops, and the thinking how livestock species will contribute. And also we have Nature Food publications in urbanizations. We think urbanization is good. Urbanization is not bad. That's also our new thinking related to the simple one. So in this paper, you will see the consolidating agricultural land, and also urbanization can benefit agricultural production. This is all very different compared to traditional thinking of how urban will impact on agriculture. So then you will believe yourself, keep working. There are many things when you have a position, you have teaching, have a meeting, conference, everything, but you have to find some time to working on your own. So keep working, comprehensive. You will have once you have a permanent position, you have a comprehensive comprehensive power that including students, funds, and the support from the college and from the university. You can do a bigger work, larger work. So we have two papers published in Nature. That one is a global study that can link cost benefit of nitrogen relate to the way how we mitigate nitrogen. We built a nitrogen credit system in this study. It's also a global study that have many collaboration with other countries. And another one, aging thrives the sustainability of smallholders in China. This is a very transdisciplinary study that link to social science with natural science. So this is when you have a comprehensive power, you can easily manage different part of your study with different group and in different countries, and you can think very smartly how to manage these things. So this is what I basically work from the very early confusion stage to transition, pain, change, and trying to be independent and trying to build a new way and trying to put different disciplinary together and trying to break the traditional thinking on agriculture, on urbanization, and trying to build your own way to the future and lead the way to future, lead to be a global leader in certain areas. Otherwise, it's very difficult for you to really, lead a group of people and achieve the publications in very top journals on global skills. So I always believe the international collaboration will help your research. And so we built the International Soil Research Alliance, and we work with UNEP, and we work in the International Nitrogen Management System we call NMS. It's a very important international project. And also I joined the activities of International Nitrogen Initiative. This is a global organization that focuses on the study of nitrogens. And meanwhile, I joined the International Science Council China. It's a institution, is an organization that China the Science Council in China, how they can collaborate with other countries. So this is a bridge that can link Chinese scientists with other countries, which is very important. And also the international collaborations in other countries, the United US, Japan, Germany, and all kinds of other institutions in other countries. They will bring you new ideas and new supports and different data, different models that you can use. You can easily organize them together to achieve new thinkings. So this is basically in this year we are just published in press papers, 7 papers in Nature Communication Food, Climate Change and Nature Communication Food, Climate Change and Nature Sustainability. All these papers based on the nature sustainability collaborates with Manfred Latham from Australia, and also other papers group of the world. But you will see the names. We basically lead these studies. Have a global growth working with us. And so I will show you the power of the design. All these papers I show you is basically the model, drivers, and the regulation of regional natural cycles. From we first build the change model with Peter, and we understand the drivers, agriculture, nitrogen pollution, farm size issue, aging issues, and the decoupling issues. Then we lead into the regulation how we sustainable use of nitrogen. We build the nitrogen credit system. So this is a powerful design. You have to design for your future, not without directions. This is the overall publications from on the very important journals from 2015 to current. At least most of them you will see in the red color is the key publications that from the very beginning to changing and then do our work independently and thinking different and to expansion for the global leadership and then currently what we're working on to expansion our study from nitrogen to urbanization to power plant and to global climate changes. And this is basically the people who collaborate with us and the paper citations in different part of the world. And okay, I have I think several minutes left. I will show you the rules how we do this kind of studies. The first, you have to know that a good paper requires good research. If you don't have a good research, you will never have a very good publications. So this is the number one, good research. How good research? The good research start with great ideas. You have to, this will take most of your time and of your thinking. The great ideas, if I read the contributions, I think the great ideas is the number one, and it will contribute more than half of top journal publications. You have to have good ideas, great ideas. Where the great idea came from? The great ideas normally came from literatures. You have to read many literature, not only in your own field, but also in other fields. You have to learn from the practices. You go to see the world. And such as I do agriculture study, I go to talk to farmers. I go to see the field. I go to see agriculture. I go to pig farms. I talk to my mom. Because my mom is a farmer. They still own lands. So I talk to my mom. And what kind of practice you are working on, how you manage your land. So you have to deeply understand their behaviors, and then you need to critical thinking. Not others what they say, what they think. You have to think very deep. You have very different thinking from different angles why this happens. So I think this came from my learn from economics. We need to understand farmers' behaviors. We need to understand the opportunity cost. We need to understand the transition cost. This is the very hidden part of a farmer's behavior. Why they overuse fertilizers? Why they don't want to use best management practices for their farmings? So once you understand the very deep behaviors, you will have ideas. Once you have ideas, you need very strong execution powers. You have to make it come true. Otherwise, ideas always only ideas stay in your brain. It's nothing. You have to make it come true. You have to put them in your computer and have data, have models, calculate the results, do experiments. You have to make them to be really thing on your papers. And once you have execution process, you reach imaginations. How you imagine your future papers. It's not published yet, but you have to imagine how many figures you require, how many tables you require. You have to imagine your papers. You can imagine once your paper published in Nature, what it looks like. And once you finish the paper, the judgment. You have to judge whether the figure is good, whether the table is good or not. We take a lot of time to change, to refine our figures, sometimes 20 times for one figure to refine, to even recalculate. So after your summation, very strong heart, many rejections. I reject from different journals, reject by Nature, by Science, by Nature Sustainability, by Nature Geoscience, all kinds of rejections. But very strong heart. Stay with your summations. You will find a way. You will find a journal that can accept your papers. And occasionally, a bit of luck also important. To be to choose which editor and which recommend which reviewer and how to manage your papers. This is a little bit luck. You cannot manage. So, but just go with the wind. That's fun. And finally, your published good papers can further enhance your research. So it's a circle. Good research, good ideas, literature, critical thinking, discussion powers, imagination, and assertive judgment, strong heart, and luck. Finally, I think you will have your paper published in top journal. Thank you very much. I think that's all I want to share.